Alrighty, what is going on, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Kenny Tunison here. If my eyes look watery, okay, look a little congested right here, allergies are kicking my ass, okay? So that is that. But today's topic is going to be a very relevant one. I'm going to talk about natural bodybuilding standards and why your perspective might be a bit delusional, but it's not your fault. All right, but I'll get to that. Now, the first thing I should say is that we've only digressed since back then. All right, so like the silver era, ever since then, it's kind of been like, all right, it's kind of looked like the stock market lately. All right, you ever look at it? And it's true. Okay, you might find it funny, but it's true. And that is unfortunate, but I'm going to talk about why that is. So, as you know, in the modern day, we have like these two extremes, all right? And they're just complete opposites of each other, all right? The space between them is vast, all right? On one hand, you got the guys who think natural bodybuilders, naturals who train natural all their lives, they can't get big, all right? They train for like a couple years, get all their newbie gains, and that's that, right? They just can't progress any longer, anymore. They're stuck, right? And then on the other side, okay, over here, you have the guys who would look at someone like me and they would be like, do you even lift, bro? Okay, they'll just be like, you're delusional, dude, you're not jacked. All right, you know, Mike O'Hearn is jacked, all right? You're not freaking jacked. All right, so those are the two sides of the coin here that we're dealing with. And what's sad about it is that a lot of people who have these two perspectives, they make content, all right? And they have large followings, and the algorithms of these social media platforms, of YouTube itself, push these ideas out there, and they just get consumed by us. And then we start to take on these opinions, right? These false narratives, you know, these bogus claims, all right? Now, I'll just briefly go back to the silver era again. I know I talked about the silver era in my last video, and the silver era guys, I want to make this clear, they're not guys that I like worship, all right? They're not guys that I completely idolize, all right? I don't idolize anybody but God, all right? Jesus Christ, okay? But what I love about the silver era is that those guys built insane physiques with a lot less than what we have today, all right? A lot less knowledge, a lot less supplements, you know, diet, knowledge, just knowledge in general, right? So-called knowledge, right? Everyone's so much smarter today. That's what we think. And of course, the lack of workout machinery. They were just using free weights, dumbbells, barbells, and all that stuff. And again, just look at the physiques they have built. All right, and not just Americans from the silver era. You know, there's like, I'm pretty sure Indian bodybuilders from that time frame who had tremendous physiques. You know, you'll see pictures of them now and you'll be like, roided, all right? That guy's juiced. But they're not, they were natural, okay? How could they be on steroids, right? And I know there's gonna be some guy that comments, you know, testosterone was invented or it first came out in 1935, which yes, all right, 1935 or 36 or whatever, yes, all right, but nobody was using testosterone until like the 60s or 70s, all right? I don't even think it was the first steroid the bodybuilders kind of dabbled in. I think there are other ones earlier than that, all right? Maybe like the mid to late 50s, but that's beside the point. Those guys were natural, and to see what they built is truly mind-blowing to me because I'm a person who, when I started training, kind of got into the bodybuilding realm, right? The fitness industry world, all right? It's just a joke, but the world of fitness, I brought on that terrible mindset for a little bit. I don't have it anymore, but I used to have it. And my progress suffered from it, all right? I thought I couldn't get any bigger. I got to like 15.5-inch arms, right? And I'm like, all right, I started, I was at 13 something, low 13 inches. I just can't grow anymore, all right? But I had no idea. Fast forward now, I have a great mindset now. I know I can get to like, let's say like in 10 years, I know I can get to like 19-inch arms because I'm still going to be training. Hopefully I'm still healthy, right? But I know I can get there. I've gotten this far. I'm at 17.25 now. So the perspective I have now, it's no longer that stupid, bogus fitness industry perspective, right? That you just can't grow after a few years of training. Now, in this part of the video, I want to highlight this guy right here. All right, his name's like Overkill or whatever on Instagram, Joel Kellett or something. Now, do I know if this guy is natural or not? No, I have no idea. All right, sorry, there's like a bug in here. I have no idea if this guy is natural or not. All right, could he be on roids? Yeah, all right. Anybody could be on roids. I could be on roids. All right, you have no idea. You would have no idea, right? I'm not, but I could be. All right, same with this guy. But I saw one of his videos the other day, all right, and I was like, wow, this guy has a great physique. This is definitely attainable naturally, all right? So I did some research, some digging, and I saw that there was like this Reddit forum talking about him, all right? And if you guys know anything about Reddit, these people on there, you don't even want to bother going on there, all right? You're just going to be mad at something if you go on there, right? Because these people, they're very negative, all right? Someone called them black-pilled, right? Doomers, all right? There's a lot of names for them, but they're just negative people that you don't want to be around, all right? People who have just no imagination, creativity. They have no, bigger picture in mind, right? But of course they're saying he's roided, right? There's no way you can get your chest this big, naturally. There's no way. I do think this guy's physique is attainable naturally. Does he have insane chest genetics? Yeah, obviously, right? But if you think that you can't get to this guy's level as a natural, I'm sorry, but you have terrible standards. All right, this guy's been training for about 12 to 14 or something years. All right, he's been in the gym a long time. He's learned a lot. And if you don't think you can get to that, because I know I can get to that, I know I will get to that. This guy's been training for more than, double the amount of time that I've been training for. And I look back at what I have learned, everything that I have gathered and executed, and everything that has worked for me and everything that hasn't. And I'm like, times that by 2 for this guy, I can definitely get to that. All right, I can see how he got there. All right, and again, do I know if he's natural or not? I have no idea. But I do think his physique is attainable naturally. But the whole point of me talking about that was to show you guys that a lot of people nowadays, they don't think this is possible. And you might be one of them. All right, so the whole point of this video is to get you, hopefully, to start thinking bigger. Okay, because why else are we training, right? Why else are we spending all these hours, countless hours in the gym, just going through these sets, giving it our all. Hopefully you're giving it your all. Hopefully you're not going through the motions. But why are we spending all this time? Is it to just look the same year after year? For me, it's definitely not. All right, why would I even be here if that was the end goal? No, the end goal is to get to whatever that dream physique that you want, 19-inch calves, right? With 19-inch freaking arms, like what's that dream physique that you want? All right, maybe you want like a 50+ inch chest, I'm almost there. I'm excited and I'm going to get it. I'm going to crush that goal. But that is pretty much the video, guys. All right, I don't really know anything else to say. Don't let the fitness industry skew your perspective on natural bodybuilding standards. All right, one thing I will say at the end of this video is try to disconnect from all the content that you watch if you're watching a lot of the mainstream guys. All right, because I hate to say it, a lot of the mainstream guys, they don't give out good advice and they're skewing your perspective on natural bodybuilding. All right, they really are. And it's hurting you a lot because I know from experience it hurt me a lot. All right, but I don't watch those guys anymore. All right, and if I do come across one of their videos or whatever, I'm just like, this is bogus. All right, not true. All right, and I keep making progress. All right, keep putting 1/4 inch on my arms, after like 4 or 5 months or whatever. I'm getting to new levels, and it's because I changed my mindset. But I will ask you guys that question again before I let you go. Why are you spending all this time in the gym? Is it really to look the same year after year? Think about it. All right, guys, I'll let you go. All right, I know I've rambled on for quite a while here, but as always, God bless.